that I'm not responsible for, my audience. I particularly want to apologize to Tana.
All right, the last topic of the day is going to be related to Idubbbz put out a video labeled "I Miss the Old Idubbbz." Now, we're not going to watch the whole video. I've got two parts that I really want to talk about, and I think I'm going to call it there. I'm going to give my final thoughts, and once I do that, that's going to be it for Idubbbz. I have something else that I'm going to show at the end that's just basically going to be my thoughts on the matter in general, because this apology was shit. All the way around, just dog shit. So, without further ado, I think we're going to get into what he titled Being Bigoted.
I was being very bigoted in a lot of my videos, and I justified it because, I didn't think it was too serious. And I thought that people were going to see that I had good intentions, but that's
fine. I think that he did have good intentions. I watched some of those old content cops, and whilst I didn't find him his content enjoyable. I really don't find the content cops enjoyable, at least to me. I didn't think that the criticism wasn't valid. You're talking about YouTube villains like Tana Mojo, Leafy is Here, Keemstar, Rice Gum, and a few others. You were using their own tactics against them, which I guess you could chalk up to, yeah, you were being bigoted, but does that matter when you're trying to make a point that, bullying isn't the way or isn't like the way of content creation and stuff like that? Because that's what they did back then. Especially Tana Mojo. She used the N-word like unironically and in racial ways. You used it as a comedic, in context way of talking about the situation. There's a difference.
And I thought that people were going to see that I had good intentions, but that's so silly, Casual racism is still racism.
That can really depend. All right. Yes and no. I definitely agree with this point to some degree, but at the other side of it, there's some things that I just heavily disagree with in it.
Casual bigotry is still bigotry. And, I said a lot of things that I look back at and I cringe now, and I'm like, that is an awful thing to say. It doesn't matter what my intentions are. Like, if I'm hurting people, I'm hurting people. And,
But it does matter your intentions. It absolutely mattered what your intentions were. All right? There's a difference between your intention was to be racist or bigoted back at them versus using their racism and bigotry against them. The context is completely different. Me saying that is completely different depending on what you truly believe in. All right? If I'm being racist back at them and I'm just calling them the N-word over and over and over and over again, yeah, that's racism. That's absolutely that. But, if you're going back and you're going like, you look at the Tana Mojo one where he went to her event, got in line, did a picture with her, and he goes, say N-word, just to call her out in public in front of people. Were you being racist? No. Were you being bigoted? No. You were using her own tactics against her in her own event.
now,
And as we're going to learn, Tana doesn't know, or Tana agrees with what I just said.
the fuck knows what my intentions are? Like, sarcasm and like jokiness and jokey tone only goes so far, especially over the internet. Even in real life, that's like an impossible thing to know with 100% certainty.
I'm sorry. It was kind of hard not to tell that you were being sarcastic back then. Is this...
But he is scared of them.
Where's the part where he's talking?
While we're on the topic of wasting people's time, I want to address these transition slides.
if you can't tell to some degree that that is sarcasm, I don't know what else you could possibly call it.
I've just always had this dumb philosophy that I'm not responsible for, my audience.
And you're not.
And how they behave beyond what content I put out. And that's stupid. And it's led to a lot of hate and a lot of bad outcomes. And I just want to make it clear that I am absolutely responsible for my audience. And
never do this. If you're a YouTuber who's just starting out, if you are anyone just starting out, never take responsibility for your audience. Put a disclaimer at the start of your videos if you have to. I am not responsible if you're drama. If you're anything else, like if you're skits or game or anything like that, I don't think that you have to, because I think it's just implied. But you're not responsible for your audience because you can't control 7.53 million people. It's not possible. It's just not. You're never responsible for something. If you put a thing at the start of your video that says don't go harass someone and they go do it, are you responsible for that? No.
And I guess if you want to look out for people who are red flags, it's definitely people who had my mentality that say I'm not responsible for what my audience does. I know that this apology isn't enough. I've clearly done a lot of damage. These videos have been up for a long time and have accumulated millions of views. I shouldn't be able to just make an apology video and walk away from it. This is something that I should live the rest of my life.
I don't get where this whole point is going. It's like he wants to say that he feels guilty for the videos he made, but at the same time he's saying that it's like he's saying that he's guilty, but also saying that he wants everyone to forgive his guilt. It's him who's feeling guilty, ergo it's him who needs to apologize to himself. It's him who needs to learn to move on. It's not the audience's job to move on. It's your job. If you want to change content, that's fine. Don't sit here and act like the audience has anything to do with this.
With, and I expect to. I've profited off of this bigoted content for years, and I've made a successful career out of it, and that's not right.
What's not right about it? Everyone profits in different ways. Look at H3H3. Look at all these different creators over the years who have, look at all these creators over the years who have come out and changed their style of content and everything else, who aren't around anymore. You ever wonder why that is? Oh, I know why. Because you've changed your content too much.
I think that this is only a step in the right direction, and I know that a lot more needs to be done to even approach a life that I would think would be like acceptable. I am running ads on this video.
Oh, he's running ads on the video. So it's an apology video with ads, by the way. Just because. Just saying.
Any revenue generated from this video, I'm going to match and donate to an organization that would have been particularly affected by the type of rhetoric that I've been spewing on this channel. And again, this isn't the end of what I'm doing. This is just the start. I don't feel like a lot of this content represents me as a person, at least not anymore.
And that's fine. If you feel like you've grown from it, that's fine. But don't act better than the audience. Everyone needs to stop trying to act better than the audience. That's part of the problem with this apology. You're trying to act like you're better than the audience. The audience will change if you change your content. That's just going to happen. Not everybody, and some people subscribe to you, forget about it, and go, oh, video I don't watch, unsub. this feels like such a corporate apology. Like he's doing it because sponsors didn't want to do Creator Clash. I sincerely believe this. Like, holy frig, man. There's nothing good about this whole video. All right, let's go to this second part, because this is kind of it.
I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on.
Okay, he's sorry to Leafy. He's sorry to Keem. He's sorry to Rice Gum. Let's find out who else he's sorry to, by the way. Tana Mojo, he'll say that in a second, though. Let me see. Content Cop. He's sorry to Jinx Reloaded. Amateur Food Reviews. Giant Toy Review Channels. Fine Bros and Revenue Machine. Keem, Fine Bros. The people that wanted to sue everyone for their blank or something reacts to blank, whatever that one was. How to Prank It Up. I already said Leafy. Tech Destruction Channels, Tana Mojo, Rice Gum, I already said. Yeah, dude. You're sorry to all these people who were shitbags.
I still don't like the majority of you, and that's fine.
Oh, you still don't like him, then why are you apologizing?
But
It's because he believes what he said in the videos, and he's still trying to feel better. He's still trying to fight himself.
And recognize that you did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way. I particularly want to apologize to Tana. Tana, I'm sorry. I should have never made that video. I harassed Tana in person and then harassed her online. And that's deplorable behavior. It's so stupid. I'm also sorry to all the black viewers and minority groups who had to...
It's like, holy frig, man. I understand where we're talking about anymore. I've lost the plot. Are we apologizing to... Are you creating an apology to the audience? To the Content Cop people? Or are you doing this because you want sponsors for Creator Clash? I mean, seriously. This comes across more as... Sponsors are starting to back out because of my past. And you all, my old audience, you guys embarrass me. I need you guys to understand I don't want you here anymore. Please leave. Just leave. Why am I... Oh, because I'm on the wrong side.
Put up with that video and put up with, the phrases. I said either it's all okay or none of it's okay.
Oh, wait, we have that clip.
It's either all okay or none of it's okay.
That's not acceptable.
His room looked better back then. I'll be honest, the map and the walls suck.
Okay.
Beige. I hate the color beige. And I don't know what color the walls are, but they look beige.
And that's just so dangerous and stupid. I have made content that I'm proud of over the years. It hasn't been as consistent as maybe I'd like it to have been, but there is a lot of content that I think had a net positive on the world, and I'm going to strive to continue on that trend. But again, I'm absolutely going to continue to make mistakes, but I want the mistakes to be a lot smaller and a lot less serious. I also want to give some clarity to the post-fight speech.
Is there anything else that I really want to talk about in this? Not really. Okay. So, he apologized to people. It is what it is. Tana Mojo, one of the people he made a content cop on, responded.
Or ever. We've never, ever spoken. And I guess he posted this apology video apologizing for like a bunch of things he did in the past. One of them being the video he made with me, or like to me or something. And I was like, damn. Like, I just never expected that. And I don't know how I feel about it.
Even she's confused. Everyone's confused.
Because like, and I don't know how to say this. I'm not talking about anything in regards of the things he said, but I'm more so just talking about like his actions to me. Like, him showing up to my show, him kind of putting me on blast, him inevitably making me kind of canceled and lose subscribers and have to apologize and all that type of stuff. I kind of think I'd like deserved that. And maybe that's like dark, like to say.
Even she thinks she deserved it. You know it's bad when one of the people you made a content cop on is coming out and saying, you know, that content cop, it changed me. It actually made me a better person. Tana Mojo is cool now, guys. She is awesome. She used to be a supervillain.
But like, I don't feel like I'm owed an apology. And maybe that's because I've accepted it so much that like people always ask me if you could go back in time and like make that never or ever. We've never.
Okay. That's her response. And like I said, I never really believed this. I think that he said it once because he genuinely thought that maybe at one point in time, and the reason I take this is I think that when he says it's either all okay or none of it's okay, I think what he's saying is you can't have your cake and eat it too. That's it, essentially what he's saying. It has nothing to do with whether or not you agree with or it has nothing to do, you know, you're talking about 2016. You're talking about a time when you had all those SJWs saying, this is okay, but this isn't okay. This group of people can say this word, but this group of people can't say this word. And I think that's where you get the line.
It's either all okay or none of it's okay.
I think that makes the most sense. Now, I think it's time for a little bit of a meme before I end the video. All right? Let's understand something. I think that Idubbbz I think that Ian was the one that always wanted to make the content cops. The whole video almost sounds like he's apologizing because it wasn't the character of Idubbbz. All right? The character didn't create content cop. Idubbbz didn't do that. It was Ian. Ian created content cop. I think it's time for people to understand. Ian took Idubbbz out back, took him to a river, took him to a nice lake. If you understand the reference, you understand the fucking reference. This is what he did. If you understand, you understand. Grapes of Wrath is a great novel. It was Grapes of Wrath. Was it Mice? No, it was Mice and Men. Of Mice and Men. Thanks. Yeah, of Mice and Men. If you understand the reference, you get it. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's sad to see what once was a YouTube legend fall so heavily. I don't miss the old Idubbbz. I didn't grow up with the old Idubbbz, but there are people out there that probably did and probably do miss him. I sincerely hope that those people understand now. He doesn't care about you. He's not going to care about you. And he wants you gone.